Hi, this is Corinne Dupuis, SLP 242-16926. This is the video therapy session. Today we are going to be working on comparing and contrasting. The first thing that I want to tell you is, what does compare and contrast mean? Compare is what is the same or common between two objects. And contrast means what is different between two objects. What we're going to do is we're going to do an activity using a Venn diagram. This is a Venn diagram. We have two circles that overlap. On this side will be one item. On this side will be the other item. In the middle will be what is common or the same between the two. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to compare and contrast a helicopter and an airplane. What I'm going to do is write airplane on one side, helicopter on the other side, I'll put that up here. So what is something that is similar or that compares between the two things? They both fly, right? Okay, so that is something that will go in the middle. They fly. What is something different or contrasting between the two? Well, the airplane has wings and the helicopter doesn't. So we can put wings under airplane. And what does the helicopter have instead of wings? It has rotors. So we can put rotor on this side. Alright, what else is there similar or the same about an airplane and a helicopter? They both carry people. And they carry passengers. I'll just put people. It's shorter. And what else is the same? They both have engines. So there we go. That is comparing. And once again, contrasting. What is different about them? Well, we can see that the airplane has wheels and the helicopter has struts. So the helicopter has struts and the airplane has wheels. So that is one way to compare and contrast. If you have someone who would rather use pictures, we have a picture of an airplane, a picture of a helicopter. The airplane, like I said, has wings. This one doesn't have wheels because it's in the air because they're under the belly right now. They're both flying. This one has struts. It has the rotors. Another way to compare and contrast is to use a matrix. Maybe the person you're working with doesn't have the vocabulary, so you can do a matrix. We have airplane and helicopter, and then you have different items on the side of what you can compare and contrast with. So for fly, you can mark both airplane and helicopter, so they would put an X in each box. Which one has wings? The airplane has wings. Which one has rotors? The helicopter does. Which one has the engine? They both do. So you can put an X in each box. Which one carries people? Etc. So that's another way to compare and contrast. Another matrix that I have is if maybe you have someone who doesn't write very well or works better visually with pictures and answering the questions, you can do a matrix with pictures. So we have a polar bear here and a zebra. And I have pictures here of items that we can use to compare and contrast. I have a little index here of things. I have some extra things like feathers and scales, which doesn't pertain to zebras and polar bears, but fur, claws, paws, a tail, hoof. We got a horse nose and a bear nose and stripes. So if someone doesn't know what the picture means, I also have the word. So let's see. If I have fur, which one has fur? Both of them do. So you can glue it in the middle here. So I would remind, okay, what does compare mean? Compare means what is the same, what is similar, what's common between the two. And then if we're contrasting, what is different between the two? Oh, a zebra has stripes. So you can put the stripes, pull up the stripes. And item 2, the zebra only has stripes, so we're contrasting. It's different. The bear doesn't have stripes. It's a polar bear. It looks white. The fur actually doesn't have color. It's clear. But there we go. So that's one way to compare and contrast also. Once we've done this activity, we can play a game that also works on comparing and contrasting, works on describing, and even works on riddles. I found this Animal Kingdom game online from, was it Lanternfish? ESL. And Boggles World ESL. So I printed this out and put it together on a board. I made the game pieces using some animals. The polar bear, dragonfly, a spider, a walrus, an elephant, and a starfish. So we don't need these anymore. These off to the side here. And the rules for the Animal Kingdom is if you land on the riddle, you need to pick up a riddle card. If you land on compare, which is the crab, pick up a compare card. If you land on contrast, which is a bird of some sort, is it a toucan or something? You pick up a contrast card. Where to go? There it is. If you land on the monkey, which is describe, you pick up a describe card. If you land on one of the animal parts, like the shell or the stripes or the dots or the paw, then you need to name an animal that has that part. So I have the directions here, and just in case you forget what they are. I also have the picture squares, what they mean. So we've got the antlers, claws, fangs, stripes, horns, tentacles, shells and hooves, spots, beaks, feathers, gills, fins, scales, fur, tails, paws, wings, and tusks. I also have a word bank in case we have some students who are not familiar with some of these things, which animals might have them. So I have a word bank here where they can pick out an animal that they think might have one of these aspects or attributes. So we can keep these handy. And another thing I need to go over before we start is go over again, what does compare mean? Compare is what is the same or common, because when you pick up a compare card, it's going to ask you, what do horses and cows have in common? So you need to say something that is the same between the two. Alright? They both have 4 legs, something like that. Contrast, what is different between the two items? Pick up a contrast card. Contrast a starfish and an octopus. An octopus has 8 legs and a starfish has 5. describe. If you pick up a describe card, you need to tell someone what something either looks like, what does it eat, where does it live, something like that. That's what describe is. So you pick up a describe card. Describe a spider. A spider has 8 legs. And a riddle. If you get the riddle card, what's a riddle? A riddle is a hard, kind of tricky question. It gives you some clues about what the answer is. And so you need to try to guess or come up with what the answer might be based on what it says on the card. What animal has spots and a long neck and lives in Africa? Well, you might think of a leopard, but a leopard doesn't have a long neck. What has a long neck? Oh, a giraffe has a long neck, and it lives in Africa. So that's a riddle. So you need to figure out which game piece you're going to be. Roll the dice to see who goes first. The one with the highest goes first. I just got a 6, so I'll go first. I got a 1. Ooh, I'll be the spider. And I got stripes. So I need to name an animal that has stripes. A zebra has stripes. So then someone else will go. I'll pretend to be them. They got a 1 also. So they need to think of an animal. Oh, I can't think of one. Let me look at the list. Tiger. A tiger has stripes. And so on. So with comparing and contrasting and description, describing, it's just learning different things, and that's it for today. Thank you.